Hello, I'm Nathaniel Smith, and I'm going to do a little discussion on books before YA became a thing. But I want to make this inherently clear before I start. I don't like YA as a genre, medium, what have you, to this day. But before YA became what it is that I don't like or can't stand, there was pre-YA with books like this, which I read a while ago. Was called this book's called Switchers, and it's a fun little preteen story about these kids, teenagers, what have you. They can actually transform their bodies into different creatures, and they have to fight off some horrid ice monsters. It's a hoot of fun, and I especially like how they explore that theme of isolation, feeling out of it compared to the rest of like normal human things. That makes sense. But yeah, so as I was reading Switchers again and realizing that it's essentially a sort of YA book, but before what YA was today, because this was written in the 90s, I realized that YA, or what we call YA now, was actually better before it was YA. Yes, I admit there were less YA like titles back in the day, but almost the quality of all of them were better because they were essentially continuations on what made the best and strongest of children's literature. Like a good example of pre YA that's really great is Ender's Game. I mean, theoretically, Ender's Game is a YA title, but it's very rich in terms of exploring this great sci-fi concept of kids having to be trained in sort of these military like high up commands and whole focus on strategy and so forth. And it was a great way of being sort of in line with what children's literature is, but doing more mature explorations of that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of books like that from before what YA is now, from the Pendragon series to So You Want to Be a Wizard to Wizard Earth Sea. Many of the Terry Pratchett's books you could even consider YA like titles. And so on. And it was really fascinating because they were a continuation of what was already great about, not all, but a good majority of children's literature with their imagination, exploring rich themes, when it was done like very, very well, like how, again, A Wrinkle in Time did that sort of thing, or Ender's Game. And then suddenly YA as it is now came out. And I think what ruined it for me is basically all because of Tweelite. Tweelite was just schmut, trashy romance novel. That's what it was. And it just let pretty much the majority, not all, because occasionally you have something from YA that's not like that, but the majority of YA now is just smut, trashy romance novels. Now, I don't mind that per se, but it's just irritating to see how we went from basically a more mature exploration of children's literature and themes and ideas and concepts, like with what A Wrinkle in Time did, and Ender's Game and so on, to just schmut trashy romance novels, but that's where we're at. I mean, even Harry Potter, which is one of the last of the sort of pre-YA era kind of things, still was a bit richer in some of its context than what we have now, and it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. But yeah, I do think it's interesting to see how YA was stronger before it was YA. And there's other titles like The Outsiders, for example. The Outsiders is really good. Again, it's that sort of thing that I find really interesting. And I just don't think there's a lot of that sort of rich depth or rich writing in prose or character or story, when again, it could just be another schmut romance novel. And it's just, yeah, I don't know, it's a shame. But I just thought it's interesting looking at titles before that, because they often they seem more mature than the so-called books we have for teenagers now. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was worth mentioning. So I'll see you guys next time, or gals, what have you know what I mean. See you later.